Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We're with Tiger Shrike, our level 37.999, almost level 38 Stalker. We're going to hit level 30 very soon. We only have a few thousand XP to go. I'm on a street hunting mission for Ginger Yates. She insisted that I go to the security chief, so we're trying to get a story arc from her, but we got to hunt some Cray first. And I brought you back now before we're done hunting them because we're out to level up, and I figured you might want to see us get to level 38. Actually should have brought you in a little earlier. There was a spawn. It was on that dock over there and one of these docks. If you're looking for Cray, they're here in the Gaspy, and they tend to be, like, if you're up high, you're not going to see them. They tend to be down on the docks here. Anyway, there were these guys. There were like 7 of them, and then one of these. And I'm like, okay, I think I could do it. And I did. I needed to hit a couple of yellows, but we were fine. I kicked their butts. That was really fun. I used hasten. I used instant healing and all my click powers. Obviously, I had to work to beat all of them, but it was really fun. There's a boss over there. Or no, is he a boss? Why is he blue? He's a boss. He's -3 to everybody else. I don't know. Let's take out this guy first. Because even though he's white, he's actually easier than the boss because he has less, Oh, this stupid boss is running a buff. He's a bubbler, so force fields make it almost impossible to hit anything. By the way, one of the more popular defenders back in the day, they were called bubblers. People wanted force field bubbles. It was like one of their favorite things. I loved them. They were great as a reflex scrapper because they made you, basically they made you as if you were under a loot all the time. It was awesome. Look at this guy. It's ridiculous. And we have leveled up from a blue boss. That's a little disgraceful. You want to level up from somebody like that, a level 9 Paragon, level 39 Paragon Protector I'm not going to bother with. Not that I'm afraid of them, it's just that they take a really long time to take out, and I'm just trying to finish this street mission because it's not a real story mission. It's just this, it's just a security chief. I really wish they had taken these out of the game in the higher level. Going to the security chief of Atlas Park and getting a street mission, or going to the security chief of Steel Canyon and getting a street mission, those are actually really significant and important because they taught you the zone and what was in the zone and who the main bad guys in the zone were. And they were good for newbies. But by the time you're level 37 and you've spent 7 levels already in Founders Falls, why in the world would I need to learn what Founders Falls is like? I'm a high-level character. I know the game. I know how to figure out where the mobs are. I don't need this mission to teach it to me. And that's actually one of the really frustrating things. Is like they put these really good learning missions and learning options in the game for you. Learning, not options, required learning. They put things in the game that would teach you the game. But then they made you keep doing them even when you were level 37 and you should already know, level 45, and you should already know how the game, and now you're going to make me do street hunting in Paragon Island when you know that's endgame? Why are you doing tutorial stuff with me in endgame? That I never really liked, and I always thought it was a little silly. And I used to argue that some of this stuff should be account-wide, right? The security chief missions should be ones that you have to do on an account-wide basis. Once your account has done a security chief mission in Founders Falls, or in anywhere really, you should never have to do it again, and certainly within a zone, right? I no longer need a tutorial on how to get around Founders Falls once I've done it once. Why are you making me do it on my 13th character, my 8th character? And so, yeah, I had another argument about that with Statesman on the forum too. Alright, Ginger. I'm going to call her, and she says thank you, and now let's see, is she going to give me something? Tip of the Devouring Earth raid at Paragon Technological Institute. If we let them get their hands on the equipment in that lab, they could produce mutagens. Could this be the Unity Plague, or have we done it already on this character? I can't even remember. I'm not sure we've done the Unity Plague on this character, so this might be leading us into the Unity Plague. We gotta go to Talos Island and defeat the Devouring Earth, but first... Actually, not first. We're gonna go straight to Talos Island, and we will go to Luminary to level up. And we're gonna get Moment of Glory, guys. And actually, while I'm here... So just in the interest of a little bit of efficiency, since we're already here, and we're going to get a level 38 power, and it's still going to be -2 to the level of the enhancements, and we have plenty of cash, I'm going to go ahead and get a recharge enhancer ahead of time for Moment of Glory, knowing that I'm going to want to speed up its recharge. And hoping that it will take recharge enhancers. It used to. I never actually used it before. I never got my regen scrapper to level 38, but in the day it was possible to make it perma from using recharge enhancers. So hopefully it will still take them, and I'm not going to waste money, but we have so much money, I don't care if we waste a little bit. We're not going to sell her anything because she's not going to give us top dollar for these enhancers, but we will buy a recharge enhancer. And that we can put immediately on the initial slot for Moment of Glory. Or, as the people on the forums used to call it, MOG. Alright, let's see here. Now I'm on the actual street. Train station's over there. I love Founders Falls, but it's actually kind of annoying with a super speed character because of all the ups and downs and waterways. It's not annoying at all if you fly. Alright, so Talos Island's where the mission is, and is also where we're going to level up. And now I can show you the actual stats of how Moment of Glory works. So there's Loom. Train me up, Loom. To level 38, and Moment of Glory. So here are the stats. It gives you knockback, knock-up resistance. We don't really need any of that. Stun. It will help you against Mez. We don't really need that. Plus 100% recovery rate for 15 seconds on self. And then we get plus 71% strength to smashing. So this is plus 71% dodge for 15 seconds. And plus 71% resistance for 15 seconds. So it only lasts for 15 seconds, which is really short and way shorter than the Paragon Protectors. That thing lasts at least a minute for them. There's no way it goes down in 15 seconds. I don't believe there's any way to enhance this power for duration of the buffs. You can enhance the amount of the buffs, but not the duration. And the amount of the buffs don't look like they're worth enhancing, because it's going to cap us to, nearly 100% resistance and 100% defense, and that's like max. So it looks like the only thing that will be worth enhancing on this will be recharge, so we won't need to 6-slot this power. That's what it looks like to me. Let's take a look now that we have it. And that's a panic power. I want to put it in essentially the same place as Elude was for our regen, or our scrapper. My real concern here, I don't use sprint anymore, so I'm going to just remove this from the tray. My real concern here is accidentally clicking this thing when I don't mean to, because that will suck. So let's take a look at the actual power now that we have it. This takes resist endurance, modification resistance, endurance cost, recharge speed, and defense. So it does take a recharge speed, so we can speed this up, and we will have it available for 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So if you triple this up, you could get the recharge down to about 2 minutes. If you had a 6-slot back in the day, that would get the recharge down to about a minute. And then with Hasten, you could get the recharge down to probably about 45 seconds. My guess is Moment of Glory used to last about a minute, or 45 seconds to a minute. And if you 6-slotted it and you 6-slotted Hasten, you could perma it. We're not going to be able to perma it because it only lasts 15 seconds now. So there's no way to get the recharge down to 16 seconds. I don't care what you do. It'll never happen. Because, like, for instance, Elude. Well, Elude has a longer recharge time. I was going to say you can't get that down to 2 minutes, but so Elude lasts a lot longer. Perma Elude used to be possible. Perma MOG used to be possible, but with only a 15-second. So basically, what this power is going to do is not going to let us stand in and fight bad guys, right? What it'll do is, like, say we're fighting the Envoy of Shadows, and he's down to a sliver, and I go down to a sliver. You hit that, and it'll just keep him from killing me for 15 seconds until I can either escape or hit some other things. It doesn't look like there's an endurance crash. Recover endurance quickly. So that's nice, but it's only 15 seconds for all of this. It doesn't seem like there's an endurance crash the way there is with Elude. So we get 15 seconds of basically being completely impossible to hit and hurt, and that's enough to... It's sort of like the Omega 13 in Galaxy Quest, right? 13 seconds, just long enough to redeem a single mistake, just long enough to survive, to get away, right? Oops, we over aggroed. There's an elite boss and 2 bosses attacking me. Hit Moment of Glory, run the heck out of there. Or we just need a few seconds more to kill this guy, and we don't have any other inspirations. Our tray is empty, right? You hit this, it's like downing an entire tray of inspirations all at once. And I actually had a friend in early live, like months into the game, not long, more than a couple months into the game, who actually set up some kind of a bind where it literally downed all his inspirations, and this just downed his whole tray at once. And I think the way he had it was kind of the way I have it, except without the heals and the endurances. He mostly had yellows, purples, and reds, and he would just down the whole thing at once, and then just get, like, plus 200% to hit, plus 200% damage, plus 100% defense, and he'd be okay for a minute. And that was his panic power. Is a blaster. He didn't really have a panic power, so that was his panic power. It was really funny. All right, back to Ginger Yates. Oh no, we're going to do our mission now. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to use Moment of Glory unless we really need it. But the advantage of Moment of Glory is we can use it spuriously, and it won't hurt us other than it not being available because it doesn't crash the way Elude does. If you hit Elude by accident, it can be really annoying. And now that I've moved my powers here, you're going to watch me accidentally click Hasten when I mean to click Super Speed because I'm used to Super Speed being over here. It's alright. I'll figure it out and get used to it eventually. Hopefully I won't click Moment of Glory incorrectly. It's green, but it has the same basic shape as Elude, so I should be able to realize what I'm doing. Oh, and we get these guys. And that is bad, because I need to hit with them. Alright, well, we'll do the best we can. Hopefully we'll get a couple of yellows as we go, otherwise this is going to be painful. Because they have huge defense buff. Alright, they're very hard to hit. And guys, we have our character pretty much in now, right? I mean, we're going to need some recharges on MOG, but we're not going to need as much as I thought. Even at the initial, like, 2.5, 3 minutes, and I'm not going to need a panic power more than every 3 minutes, I don't think. And, I mean, you need a panic power, once or twice a mission, right? We shouldn't need panic power a lot if we do something's wrong, right? You shouldn't be panicking all the time. You should only be panicking when you're panicking, if that makes sense. I hear a glowy. Yeah, I hear a glowy, and there's text to save. We got a quartz over here. Bedrock over there, another quartz. So these guys are going to be quite objectionable to fight. But let's start with this. So we have our panic power in. We don't have revive. That's absolutely at the bottom of my list. Again, I feel like using revive means you've already failed. Like, I shouldn't be dying. It's fine for group missions, you're going to die more often in group missions just because of the controlled chaos. or uncontrolled chaos of the group, and also just because, you know, sometimes you just might overdraw aggro in a group. No matter how good you are, no matter how careful you are, you're going to overdraw aggro. It's inevitable. You accidentally end up somewhere that you didn't mean to be. You misclick. You taunt when you didn't mean to. Whatever, and you overdraw aggro. But it's always good to have that panic power for, or it's always good to have the revive for when you die, in a group setting. And also, by being able to revive, you don't make your team wait for you to come all the way back, right, from the hospital. Whereas here, I mean, it wastes my time to come all the way back from the hospital, but it doesn't even waste yours because I can pause it, and I generally do now, now that I've figured out how to, you know, pause things. But we really don't need revive if we don't die a lot, and we really shouldn't be dying a lot with this character. And as you've seen, we really haven't. I mean, I die a few times, but... And when I'm not watching, usually, you know, because I'm talking. But we really don't need revive. I'm going to try to work on getting our way toward physical perfection, which will kind of double up our stamina to help us with the endurance recovery, because we need that on this character since we don't have quick recovery. So we're going to want to, and then we're going to want a 6-slot, probably 6-slot physical perfection. I only 3-slotted it on my Scrapper, but this character is so based on rapid recovery of health, rapid regeneration of health, that I think we want to just max out her regeneration abilities as much as possible. So I'm actually not going to pay any attention to slotting Moment of Glory at this point. My feeling is we probably don't need it. Although I have to tell you guys, at some point when we face a Paragon Protector, I am absolutely going to do it to them. And the reason is they do Moment of Glory to you all the time, and they so aggravated me as a Scrapper who could do elude but not MOG, that when they do it to me, I am doing it right back. I know, it's a computer, it can't get annoyed the way a human can, but I'm doing it anyway. I want revenge. So our next set of slots, I think, is going to be to continue working on our attacks. For the most part, we may do 1 in defense, so to do 2 to 1. So if we take a look, we need to finish Strike, we need to finish Slash, and we need to finish Shockwave. We also need to bump the healing on integration. That's a toggle and it works all the time. So I think what I'm going to do is add 1 to Slash, maybe? Should we do 1 to Slash and 2 to integration? I feel like we don't need a recharge on Shockwave. I feel like Shockwave might be worth putting 2 accuracies on, because we want to hit a lot, the way I used to do with Dragon's Tail. But I don't know, we don't use Shockwave a lot, so I'm not going to actually mess with it too much. I think we might do 2 on integration and 1 on Slash, just to sort of buff up the damage Slash does. And then at... I was going to say then at 40, we would do 1 on integration to finish it, and then maybe finish Strike. I could flip those around and finish Strike first. We could do Strike and Slash next level, and then just do integration the level after that, all 3. That could potentially work. And then we will have this 5-slotted, this 4-slotted, this 4-slotted. Then at 41, we're going to get focused accuracy. We won't need to slot that. 43, we can finish Strike and Slash. And then 42, and then 43, we can work on Shockwave and finish Moment of Glory. Maybe. I don't know. Have to think about it. If I'm having feel like I'm having a lot harder time with this character than the Scrapper, because the Scrapper really didn't need, without sets, did not need to go into more than 3 or 4 slots in any of the defenses, whereas this character has needed to 6-slot 2 different defenses right? If you compare to the Scrapper, this is equivalent to quickness, right? And sort of this and this with the two slots maybe here would be equivalent to practice brawler, and then we had 3 passives, but then our toggles only needed 4, and I didn't even have the 3rd toggle slotted yet by 37, I don't think. And so that gave me 4 extra slots, which means we could have finished these 2 powers, and that's why I feel like the attacks had come along much more quickly on the Scrapper than they have on this Stalker. But this Stalker has been more survivable, I think, than the Scrapper in a lot of ways. And the defenses of this Stalker are great. So now we're going to walk up here because we need to aggro these guys. You can't assassinate them. And now that they're aggroed, you can. Or maybe not. Because I got interrupted. Almost did. Yeah, it's like you know what they are. You know that those trees are black roses or whatever. But you just can't aggro them. You can't attack them until you aggro them. They have to wake up. They're essentially dormant or whatever, and you can't do anything to them until they wake up. So far, we've been lucky that we're only dealing with +2s. So these guys are level 40, and guys, now that we're level 38, now that we're not doing Circle of Thorns anymore, we should have seen the end, pretty much, of Earth Thorn casters. And we're now only going to see Air and Fire Thorns. And I don't even know if we're going to see the Fire Thorns until 45, I'm not sure. It's like every 5 to 10 levels, what you face with certain enemy groups like the Circle changes. So this is a defeat all, so we may as well, you know, defeat them all. Man, I just got him. It just went off before he hit me. Otherwise that would have interrupted it. Yeah, this character will put out a lot more damage once we have Strike and Slash properly enhanced. Okay, there's nobody there. Go this way. Still need to find 3 techs and defeat all D. It's really interesting that there's no point to even saying find 3 techs, because if you have to defeat all, among the guys you defeat will be the captors of the technicians. Right? I mean, you can't solve the mission until you've defeated everybody, and when you defeat them, then when you defeat the captors, it will free those hostages. Alright, next level. Is this 3rd level, I think? Right? Yeah. It says Gamma 3 on it. What do we got here? Let's do what we're supposed to do. Sardonyx and Bedrock. Sardonyx. The Bedrock's the worst, so we're going to start with him. Let's get a little AoE going. That's good. Alright, AoE again. Man, I cannot hit this guy even though it's rubble. It's like not even a minion, it's an underling. Okay. We're now getting 515 health when we click reconstruction. For some reason I wanted to say rejuvenation, reconstruction. Alright, so we took these guys out. Yeah, so that's why you want to put those extra heals, because man, it just heals the health bar all the way up. If you look, we only have 1048 health, so 515 is just over half our health bar. That is a lot of healing, and it happens every 30-ish seconds. So we're getting half our heal bar back every 30 seconds. That is fantastic. Right? You would not want to be fighting an enemy that could do that every 30 seconds. Not just do it once the way the Freak Show do, but every 30 seconds. And then on top of that, we can use Dull Pain and get like 700 back and add like 200 to our health and go up to like 1200, right? Instead of 1000. And so, can you imagine fighting a guy that can do that, to do it that much? That would suck. I can imagine in PvP it would absolutely suck to fight regen scrappers or regen stalkers. Never did PvP, but I can imagine that it would be really brutal. And my guess would be you pretty much have to mez them. If you can find a way to overwhelm integration, which I think was possible for player characters more so than villains, more so than NPCs. If you could do that, then, you know, once you've locked them, then they can't use their click powers and stuff. But as long as they can use those click powers, I would imagine that it would absolutely suck trying to fight one of these guys. And I sure as heck would never want the developers to have programmed, say, the Paragon Protectors to be real regen scrappers with real regen, because it's one thing if they have Moment of Glory and a single heal that they can use, but to be able to do it over and over again like that every 30 seconds, so as soon as you wear them down, they get it right back. I mean, that's got to suck, right? It would not be fun fighting a guy like that. I hit the wrong thing. I meant to hit the AoE. Like this. I miss all three of them. That is really sad. Oh, and then on top of that, on top of the fact that you can heal that quickly, look at how much damage the character puts out. I mean, at this point, guys, if it weren't for the lack of accuracy that would just absolutely kill us against +4s, I think this character's ready for +3 missions. But unfortunately, the only way to do that would be to do a whole bunch of inventions and use the accuracy buffing inventions for the invention sets to make our base accuracy, like Silver Phoenix is like 1.49 or something base accuracy. So it's much harder to floor her. And she is like 95% to hit against +3s. This character does not. And so I don't want it to be too easy. Like, this is too easy. If I could guarantee +3s max, I would do it right now. I would switch to +3s. Because we know that we can do +3s without a problem. We have been doing that for a while. The problem comes in with the +4s. We're not going to be able to hit them. It's going to be like 40% to hit. We're just going to be constantly whiffing. And that's just not going to be any more interesting to watch than if it were too easy. So, I'm not sure, guys. I mean, again, we could go for inventions. I'm trying not to do that with this character. I'm trying to just do SOs. But we'll have to think about it. People can leave comments. Tell me what you think. Do you want to try to start moving toward inventions now so that we can um, ramp it up to +3. One thing I could do is leave it. Oh, you know what I could do is leave it here, but change it to um, 2 players instead of 1. I mean, that'll definitely make it harder because as a scrapper, you can just keep beating things up. But as a stalker, you can't go back into hide easily with a large group. Placate one guy, but you can't placate the whole swarm, right? So maybe what we'll do is move it up to ×2 players and see how we do. And then if that's fine, we can keep moving it up. If we could do ×2 +2 × 4 or something, that's fine. As long as it's a challenge, I think. We're on a story arc for Ginger, so this must be the Unity Plague, the Terra Conspiracy. I don't know. I've heard of Fauna First, a radical environmental group that's been accused of more than one sabotage against polluting businesses. You said they were working with the devouring earth? These creatures have tried such tactics before. So that's disturbing. I could have sworn I did the Unity Plague, so this must be something else. Yeah, we've done the Unity Plague. It's right here. So this must be something else. The Terra Conspiracy, right? That's another Devouring Earth story arc. Alright, I got some things to sell, guys. No important salvage. Let's see. What do we have for inventions? 2-hit debuff we don't need. We do have Positron's Blast, which is that targeted AoE. We could start messing around with that. Thunderstrike is ranged. Damage that probably would work with focus. Yeah, because it's a ranged attack. So that technically would work with Focus Thunderstrike. That gives us improves accuracy of all powers by 7% if we have 4 of them. So you could potentially put Thunderstrike in Focus, and that would buff the accuracy. So what we could do, guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm definitely going to start moving it up to ×2, ×3. We'll see how that goes. But if we want to move it up to +3, what we're going to need to do is switch over from doing SOs to doing these sets. And once we've got 3 or 4 of these sets in here, and we're at like +28% accuracy or something, that will offset the penalties for fighting +3s, and we should be fine. Or not even +3s, but +4s, because we can do +3s right now. So let me know if you rather stay with the SOs and see how it goes, getting a character all the way to 50 with SOs, but with the proviso that we're probably not going to be able to go up above +2 missions with some +3s in them because we won't be able to hit the +4s, or we will miss them so much I will be grinding my teeth and damaging my teeth and gums. Or do we want to stay, so we won't be going up to +3s and 4s, and we'll just stay at +2s with +3s in some of the missions if they're +1 to the mission level, and we'll just up the number of foes. I mean, that could get tedious too if there are a lot of them, you know what I mean? Or do you want to switch over and start doing some inventions? Now that we're looking at level 40 inventions, I'm fine doing that. It's going to be very expensive, and I won't go below about 10 million influence because that's how much it would take to get the SOs. We could switch over to generic inventions too. That won't help us at all for the accuracy buff. So I think we want to go to set inventions. If we do that, then we won't be able to see at the end, just how rich are you if all you do is SOs. I think we're going to be quite rich. I think we'll have 30 or 40 million influence at the end if we only slot SOs. But we're also only going to be able to stay at +2 missions. So leave some comments. I may make the decision before you get to make these comments, actually, because I'm like a month ahead on recording versus posting. But go ahead and leave some comments, and let's talk about it and see what we want to do. And until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes.